Okay, so far we built some functionality for our add-on. In this video, we'll build different UI components for it. And let's start with this menu here in the side panel. For that, we'll need another container, but this time we write panel here instead of operator. The naming convention is similar. First, you write a category, and it's not OT this time, it's PT, which means panel type, and then whatever you like here. Again, we have a couple of BL options. To place your panel in the sidebar, set space type to View 3D and region type to UI. BL category is the tab name, and BL label is the menu name within that tab. Alright? Let's say we want to put it into scene properties though. Why not? We just need to change space type to properties and region type to window. Also, we need this BL context this time. It defines the specific tab here. If we set it to scene, it'll be here. And if we set it to output, for example, it'll be here instead. Cool. All right, let's put it back into the side panel and continue with the draw function. Just like the execute functions handle actions in operators, the draw function here lets us build the UI for our add-on. First, we define the layout like so, and to add an operator to this panel, we can use layout.operator, passing in the ID name of the operator we want to add. Remember, we defined these ID names in the operators we created. And we have some options here. We can add an icon, or we can change the text of the button and things like that. You can see all the options if you hover over this operator method. By default, these buttons will be in a column, but we can change that. Let's say we want these two buttons side by side. We can do that using a row layout. First, we create a row like so. Then we can change these to row.operator. And that's it. We can give these buttons a bit more space by adding an empty row in between. And let's increase the size of these buttons by setting row.scale y. Let's set it to 1.5. Cool. We can include a color picker here for users to choose the color for the cube. We use the prop keyword for that instead of operator. And if we haven't created this material yet, there will be nothing to show here. So it's better to inform the users in that case. That's why we put it into this if-else statement, alright? Like if I create that red material now, color picker will be here. You know what? We can put the color picker anywhere we want. If you're a bit crazy, you can even put it into this viewpoint pie menu. No one's gonna stop you, right? We can also add an option to this mesh add menu for our beloved cube. I'll show you how to do all this in a moment, but before that, let's create a pie menu for our add-on. We're gonna need another container for a pie menu, and this time it's a menu type, not a panel type, alright? We give it a unique identifier, which we'll use in a second to assign a shortcut for this pie menu. Again, you can name it whatever you want. Label is the name of the pie menu that appears in the UI, like this one right here. We have a draw function similar to the one we have here, but this time we define this pie variable using the menu pie method provided by the layout. Then we can include our operators or props in the pie menu. Up here it was layout.operator or row.operator, or it could be column.operator. Here it's pie.operator. And that's it. Now let's assign a shortcut for it in Blender. So I'm gonna head over to Preferences, Map, 3D View, add new one. I'm gonna type pie here, and that's the one we are looking for. WM call menu pie. And in this name field, I'm gonna type cube, and here's our pie menu. This is the ID name we set here, alright? And set the key you prefer. And hopefully when I press P, I can use the pie menu now. Cool. Let's dive into the final part of our code. These register and unregister functions will bring everything together. So we've built all these containers, right? The classes for our operators and UI elements. Here we gather all our classes into a list. and we tell bpy, hey, make sure Blender takes all these classes and registers them, making them part of the system so we can use them whenever needed. The register function is called when you install an add-on, and it makes all your operators, panels, and menus available within Blender. Similarly, the unregister function acts like the opposite. When you uninstall an add-on, unregister is called, removing all your add-on's components from Blender, alright? Okay, what about all these lines then? Well, if we want to add something into an existing menu in Blender, this mesh add menu for example, we don't need to create a whole new panel for it. We can use bpy.types followed by the specific menu name. In this case, this is the name of that menu. Then we can call the append method and pass in a function name. This function will define what gets added to the menu, alright? And I've created these two functions up here, one for adding the color picker and one for the cube operator. We are familiar with this at this point, right? We have used the same lines here while creating this panel. So I've used the same approach here to add the color picker to those places, alright? So how are we gonna figure out the name of the menu where you wanna add something? The fake bpy module is incredibly helpful for that. Let's say you wanna add something into this header. Just type bpy.types.dopsheet and the autocomplete will give you all these options. So this one seems right, you can try that, but if it's not, just try another one that seems like what you're looking for, alright? I didn't know the names of these menus either, but I quickly figured them out by checking out the options autocomplete gave me. And one thing to note, these lines belong within the register function, okay? By the way, we have also prepend method here. This will add it at the top. Append adds it at the bottom. I'm not sure if there is a way to add it somewhere in between though. And to remove these, when uninstalling the add-on, use the same line here in the unregister function and just replace append with remove, okay? So your add-on will be installed in this Blender version that you are using for development. But if you want to install it in a different version or share it with others, just zip this folder that contains your code. And this zipped folder is all you need for installation. Alright, while some concepts in the last two videos might be new depending on your Python experience, I think the next video will equip you with the tools to kickstart your add-on development journey. If you found something valuable here, leave a like, let me know, and see you soon.